Hello again, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. I am Xarkun. Today, I have another destroyer video for you, and this time I am in the Tier 6 American destroyer, the Benson. Now I will tell you that this is basically a stock Benson. I have all the mods installed, including... I have all 3 mods installed, and I am using, if you're wondering, Halsey as the commander on this destroyer. I believe he's only a level 7. I've got, other places to put my promotion orders. And my last video that I uploaded was another destroyer video. And in it, I did say that I'm not really a frequent destroyer player. I am more of a battleship and a cruiser player, but I have been trying to play destroyers a little bit more in recent times so that I can get better with them. And this Benson is the second Tier 6 destroyer that I've bought so far in the game, and since my last video was the Akatsuki, I thought I should try to get a video with the Benson, because the Benson and the Akatsuki are both pretty much polar opposite destroyers in terms of playstyle. The Akatsuki is a very stealthy torpedo boat with a quick torpedo reload time and not weak guns, but not the most effective guns, whereas the Benson is a gunship, and on the stock Benson, it cannot stealth fire its torpedoes in the way the Akatsuki can. I believe once I get the torpedo upgrade, or the torpedo upgrade, I will be able to stealth fire torpedoes in the Benson, but I'm not 100% sure. I think that's the case. I assume so, because that torpedo upgrade, all it says is it reduces the torpedo damage, speed, and I think reload time. So that all sounds bad. Must be a trade-off somewhere. I assume it's being able to stealth fire your torpedoes, which, by the way, I don't understand why that is the case. But hold that thought for a second, because we have a smoke screen in front of us as we are here capping B. So we know that there is a destroyer there. The only question is, which destroyer is it? It could be any one of 3, but we are about to find out here. As soon as this is capped, I'm going to start inching forward in an attempt to spot this destroyer, who probably knows I'm here but doesn't know my exact position. Now he does, and he immediately fires off his torpedoes. So I pick up speed, fire my guns, miss his torpedoes, and then fire a salvo of my own. And I have taken out his engines, so he is a sitting duck. The salvo hits him and immediately takes him out for a devastating strike and the first blood medal. Not a bad way to start the game. Definitely, off to a great start, as they say. Anyway, so I can't stealth fire torpedoes on this ship, but I believe with the torpedo upgrade you can. I wish, though, that the numbers that are shown for the stat changes when you look at the upgrade, when you're, in port, would reflect that. I wish they would tell you how far the torpedo range extends. I really don't know why they don't. I mean, not the artillery upgrade, but the targeting upgrade tells you how far that upgrade will extend the range of your main guns. Why the torpedo upgrade won't do that, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's because Wargaming doesn't want to put a bunch of numbers on the screen, because, players don't like looking at numbers. We don't need to know how far the torpedo upgrade is going to extend our torpedo range. No, of course not. Anyway, I think once I can get that upgrade, if it does indeed extend the range of the torpedoes, the Benson may very well become one of my favorite destroyers, because I do like the gunboat aspect of it. It is very effective when you can use these long-lasting American smoke screens to get in a position to shoot at ships and, farm HE damage off of them. Unfortunately, I think I deployed that smokescreen prematurely. I probably shouldn't have done it because it turns out to be a waste. That position was not, as it turns out, great for being able to shoot at the enemy ships over there. So I am about to follow this New Mexico through the gap in an attempt to support him and get shots on some enemies. So I am going to take some shots at these battleships here in an attempt to start a fire, but I am aware of that Icarus around the corner of this island, and I know that he is probably, at this point, the greatest threat to the life of the friendly New Mexico that is sailing over there. And I am pretty confident, that I'll be able to take out that Icarus. So I'm going to start moving into position to do that after taking a few more shots at those battleships out there. Unfortunately, I don't get any fires and I don't get a whole lot of damage because most of the shells shatter on impact, which is unfortunate. But the enemy Icarus is shooting at the friendly New Mexico, and the friendly New Mexico is, of course, concerned about the two battleships in front of him. So I'm going to be a good teammate, and I am going to try and take out this Icarus, who does have an advantage on me. He knows where I am because he has detected me with his sonar, and I don't know exactly where he is. So he could, if he's paying attention, potentially be able to land the first shot on me, which is always, an advantage when you're in destroyers. There he is, though. I spot him, and he is going behind that rock, so I'm not able to hit him quite yet, but once he comes around that corner, I'm just going to unload right into the side of his ship. So there he is. Fire off the first salvo, hit him for decent damage, and we just keep going, cycling through the guns with the quick reload time of the Benson and, of course, Halsey's reload time reduction trait. And we do take out the Icarus. Or no, we don't take him out yet, but there he goes. And he, I don't even think, fired his guns at me because he was trying to launch his torpedoes, which doesn't often work. Now, like I said, I'm no expert with destroyers, but when you're fighting another destroyer, generally, you don't want to launch your torpedoes at the sacrifice of damage output from your guns, because destroyers are very maneuverable ships. If you're not at point blank range with those torpedoes, it's not likely that they're going to hit the enemy destroyer, and you are just essentially sitting there allowing that enemy destroyer to take chunks and chunks off of your health every few seconds with its guns, while you are not doing anything in return. It's basically free damage to the enemy. So fire your guns when you're in close range fights with other destroyers, no matter what destroyer you're in, even if you're in the Akatsuki. Now, speaking of close range fights, this friendly destroyer is very close to this Colorado. He doesn't appear to have his torpedoes reloaded because the Colorado takes him out, but he did provide a useful distraction for me, and I was able to fire a full salvo of torpedoes at this Colorado, and they do hit and take him out. So that is the second kill, 58,000 damage done so far. Not bad. Now, I will say that this is not the highest damage game ever in a destroyer. It doesn't even quite break 100,000, but I thought this was a very entertaining game. It was certainly a lot of close quarters fighting, and we're not even done with the close quarters fighting yet. The friendly battleship does take out that Normandy after I had deployed my smokescreen, which is a misplay on my part. This is essentially a wasted smokescreen. The second wasted smokescreen of the game, actually. So, there's something that I need to work on, is when to deploy these American smokescreens, because really, if you think about it, a smokescreen on these American destroyers is sort of your primary offensive weapon. Provided you get yourself into a position where you can deploy it and still be able to spot and shoot at enemy ships. So as long as you've got teammates around you who are doing your spotting for you and you're able to deploy the smoke screen, you can sit inside and you can farm HE damage off of ships, preferably battleships, because they generally don't have torpedoes to shoot into the smoke screen at you, and you can get lots and lots of hits on their superstructure with your HE, start fires, and then you can switch to the AP and get superstructure damage with that. So that generally, I think, is the strategy on the American destroyers. I haven't deployed it so much in this game, but I have had success in different ways. And I think the contrast is nice between the Benson and the Akatsuki in my previous video. Two very different destroyer playstyles on display for you here, and you can tell me which one you prefer in the comments if you want. Akatsuki, Benson, you like the torpedo boat aspect of destroyers, or do you like the gunboat aspect? Frankly, I like both. I especially like the gunboat aspect, which is why I am excited to get the torpedo upgrade on this ship once I grind to it, because I believe it allows you to stealth fire the torpedoes, and the ability to stealth fire torpedoes coupled with the Benson's excellent gun characteristics should, I think, make it a pretty formidable little destroyer. Now, I've got this Queen Elizabeth here, so I am seeing if I can get in range to torp him, but he is taken out. But, I have a Fuso here, and I am in range to torp him. So I send off the salvo and take cover behind this rock. Now I want to peek out from behind this rock, and I want to see if I can start a fire on him. Now I think he's already fired his guns, so I should be okay to sit here and shoot at him for a little bit of time. And of course I am racking up those green Defender ribbons, which, as I've stated before, are incredibly valuable, and I will prove that to you again on the end result screen of this battle. Now I do hit the Fuso twice with torpedoes. One causes flooding, so if I can get a fire set on him, that one is going to stick around, and it may stick around long enough to kill him, because he has obviously exhausted his damage control on the flood. Now he does hit me there for a significant amount of damage, and I'm down to about half health now, so I do need to be careful. I'm going to utilize this island as cover, and I am going to make a turn to port as he is coming around the right side of this island, and I am going to try and keep my guns cycled and firing on him. I do have a friendly, I believe Colorado or New Mexico, pulling up beside me to support, and the Fuso appears to be more concerned about this friendly battleship than he is me. Although his guns are aiming at me, so I do need to pull forward, and I need to avoid taking another significant hit from him. His secondaries do clip me for a little bit of damage, but now the only threat right in front of him is the friendly battleship, who is about to beach himself on this rock, and it is a friendly Colorado. So while the Fuso is occupied, I am going to reverse and line up a point-blank range torp strike. And as soon as I've cleared the rear of the Colorado, I launch the torps. Unfortunately, a couple of them do hit the Colorado. Not great, but no friendly damage done in this game, so no harm. And the rest of the torpedoes hit the Fuso and take him out, bringing my damage total up to 80,000 and my kill count up to 4. So the Kraken Unleashed medal is potentially in play, and this looks like pretty much guaranteed victory, provided the Colorado and I don't both die. But we do have the enemy Jervis over here, So if we can take him out, we will for sure win the game, and I will have a Kraken Unleashed medal, which would be very nice. So I'm giving it my best go here, just unloading all the firepower of the Benson. Unfortunately, the Jervis packs a little bit of a punch of its own, and he does take me out before I can take him out. I leave him with just enough health to escape. So no Kraken Unleashed, unfortunately, but you know, still a guaranteed win unless the Colorado dies somehow in the next 3 seconds, which is unlikely. And in fact, the Colorado does survive, and the battle is won. So, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I have a lot of World of Warships Legends content coming all the time. And now let's take a look at the post-battle results. Yep, top of the leaderboard, 3,000 XP. Those Defender ribbons are valuable. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.